Hello and welcome. Lesson number 3. You've done the inner work and you've chosen the goal you want to manifest first. It deserves so much respect. You are so strong. Thank you for making this investment into your dream life by doing this inner work. I know it wasn't easy to find the beliefs, to accept that you have such limited narratives in your mind. It was not easy. And you've done it. You've written them down. You've found the source, the age of each belief, even approximately, and you've rewritten each one to a new one, which is authentically yours, and which is aligned with your dreams. Also, you've created a new wallpaper on your phone to enter new beliefs, and you've written down the detailed description, activating your 5 senses of how this goal should be manifested, how you want to feel in that moment, how blissful it is to achieve what you wanted for so long. That was the visualization process, which we need to do only once. That's it, you've done it. And now, when you know for sure what do you want to manifest, and you've done this inner work, we are ready to move to the step 2 of the practice, which is to choose the habit. It can be a good habit that you would like to build, or a bad habit that you'd like to stop. Either works, and what's important to know is that it should be quite frictional for you. The more frictional and uncomfortable it is, the more energy will be released. And the easier it is for you, the less energy will come from that exact commitment. For example, if you don't like coffee so much, you drink it once in a while, once a week, and you commit to break, to stop drinking coffee. It's effortless for you, and not much energy will be released. But if you drink 5 cups of coffee a day and you can't imagine your life without it, but you know that it's quite harmful for your health, or you just want to break this habit in order to manifest your desire in exchange, then that's the right commitment. Because it won't be easy for you to stop drinking coffee. You will need to stay very disciplined to activate your willpower. Then it's a perfect choice. Or if you are a morning person and waking up early for you is effortless, means you are used to it, you're enjoying it, then a commitment to wake up at 6 a.m. might not be the one for you. But if you struggle to wake up early and it's hard for you, then a commitment to wake up at 6 a.m. daily will help you accumulate a lot of energy, and it will be released and redirected to your goal, and that's exactly what we want. It should be a bad habit that truly takes away energy from you, because it should be a comfort zone escape. It should be uncomfortable. And at the same time, you need to enjoy the process. Meaning, if you quit sugar, and your body will crave it, by you staying disciplined, you will feel so good by keeping the promise you made. Your confidence, your self-trust will boost. So many of my students have proved that you become a new person, a new version of you who is much more confident than before, because discipline is what builds self-trust. When you trust yourself that you do keep the promises you make, then you don't need anything anymore, no one's opinion, no anyone's advice. You just have all the answers, and you are so secure in who you are. You have such firm identity that you become unwavering. So you should enjoy the process of giving up a bad habit. And enjoy the process means that still the habit shouldn't be to work out for 2 hours every day. It can be exhausting for the body. It's not about balance. Pay attention to it. And these uncomfortable, brave actions, they don't feel good in the moment. But after that, after you know that you've spent today keeping your promise, not eating the sugar or not drinking coffee, after that, it feels so good. You feel so proud of yourself and so thankful for yourself. This is the action that we should choose. The one which might be uncomfortable in the moment, but the one which is still a contribution into your health, not something which might damage your body. That's important. Let's look at the workbook, where we can see several examples of habits that we can choose. And because this practice stays with you forever, you can always come back to this notebook and choose what habit, an idea of what habit or what action can you implement right now to manifest what you want. Daily squats or just daily activity, which is even 15-minute yoga, 3-minute plank, which still you need to make yourself do it, especially the plank. But it's a contribution into your health, and it requires you investing this energy into it, which is being redirected to your exact goal. So the habit that you can choose is not connected to the goal at all. It shouldn't be connected to the goal. In examples which I shared with you in success stories, people give up alcohol, for example, or sugar or coffee, and they get financial growth in exchange or meet the partner that they want. It's not connected at all. But this is exactly how the exchange method works. You need to make any promise to yourself, any commitment. And this way, by setting the intention that we will do in the next lesson, you get exactly what you want in exchange. So, another example of a habit you can choose can be daily breath work, breathing exercise, which still takes you around 15-20 minutes and requires some dedication, some discipline. Or daily jogging, which is one of the best habits ever, and no matter if you slept for 1 hour, or no matter if it's raining or snowing outside, you still go out and run every morning. It builds your inner strength so much, you become a new person. It makes you feel so brilliant after you finish it. It's one of those habits which can be quite uncomfortable when you run, but then after you finish it, you feel that you've made a victory. And it builds your personality, it builds your new reality, new life, and new you, which you will feel so grateful to yourself for. Another example is you can do 10,000 steps a day, which means walking daily for 1 hour at least. And pay attention, if this habit fits into your lifestyle. Because if you come back home at 11 p.m., you had a hectic, busy day, and you didn't have a chance to do those 10,000 steps, then you might break this commitment of yours. And we will talk about what it means to break the commitment, what to do if it happens. But I want you to do your best to not break it, because the most important promise we can ever make is the promise we make to ourselves. That is why the habit should not be unrealistic. If you spend every day at home and you do have the free spare time to walk daily, then choose this habit. But if no, better choose the one which will fit your lifestyle better. You might also read 10 pages of a book every day. One of my students had a huge resistance to read, especially these educational books, not the fictional one, but the ones which teach you something. She would feel so bored, and for her it's quite a good commitment to read just 10 pages of a book, but on a daily basis. You put your tick, and this way you can manifest your desires. It's not a too frictional habit, but for small desires it works perfectly. Next, waking up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. But it should be an uncomfortable time for you, which means if you usually wake up at 7, commit to wake up at 6. It can also be daily contrast shower, which is so uncomfortable for the body. But if you do it daily, you commit to it, it can help you manifest. Then examples of giving up bad habits. We can quit sugar. We can quit junk food. One of my students has given up going to McDonald's, and it's one of her favorite cafes, so it wasn't easy for her. And she would tell all of her friends who they would go to McDonald's together with, they would support her, and she would keep her commitment for 2 months. And her desire would manifest in 6 weeks. In the middle of the 2nd month, she would get what she wanted, which was that financial accomplishment she wanted for so long, to buy a property. And even though her desire already came true, she still kept the commitment for the 2 months. And then, after those 2 months, they would go to McDonald's with her friends to celebrate her willpower and her accomplishment. So if you're used to it kind of junk food, or you like gluten so much, or meat, or you're snacking too much and you feel that it's not healthy, that's what we can quit. It can be quitting shopping, and quitting impulsive shopping. So many of us are used to scrolling through Amazon for hours, comparing some items and just wasting so much energy there. It can be what we can quit, and this way we will unleash the extra energy to manifest. It can also be digital detox, or a day in silence, meaning no phone, no social media. And digital detox is not using any gadgets, but a day in silence is a day of not speaking, which can be so uncomfortable, but it's just 1 day. where you will unleash so much of the energy you need. So think about it, consider this. Then we can give up alcohol or smoking, obviously. Then we can give up full language, or gossiping, or yellowing, if you're used to it, or judging others. It can be quitting communication with a specific person. It may be a toxic relative, it may be a friend who makes your self-belief waver. It can be someone who it's not comfortable for you to stop communication with, especially if it's a relative. Because maybe others will judge you, maybe it's just hard for you because deep down you love them, but they make you feel bad. You can commit to quitting any communication with that person. Means intentionally. Means you don't start the communication. If they started with you, you're just doing your best to minimize it and to finish it as soon as possible. But you yourself are distancing yourself from that person, strictly. And it can be your commitment. Next, we can quit special thoughts. Thoughts that take away your energy. Thinking about the past, or just pessimistic negative thoughts. Or we can quit feeling pride and arrogance towards people, which you know that does not serve you well. If we feel arrogant towards people, the universe will quickly show us that you are the same as others, we are equal. You will get a test, a situation that will show you that you need to manage your ego and not to let it make your heart so closed. That's important. And another example is that it can be an action for your professional growth. One of my students would commit to post daily stories on Instagram because it was important for her to grow her account, but she would always resist posting stories. She wouldn't like it at all. She would commit to a month of posting stories daily. Or writing a daily blog post to develop your copywriting skills, or just develop how you write, in order if you want to write a book in the future, for example. These are the great examples of habits that we can commit to. And to remember, a habit should make you go out of your comfort zone and should be beneficial for your health, mental or physical. The second thing to remember is that you shouldn't talk about your practice. Do not share with anyone until it's needed that you are committing to the specific habit now in order to manifest. No. Keep this energy to yourself. Do not waste it. You might want to share that, oh, I quit sugar for 3 months. And it might fill you such kind of pride. But you might share that you don't eat McDonald's anymore. But don't tell why. Why your exchange method, your commitment is only for you. Don't share it. Later, once you manifest, once you finish your commitment, then share with everyone. Share this great practice. Help other people to manifest what they want. But during the practice, do not talk about it. Next, use a tracker which you've printed to track your progress. It's extremely important for managing the brain. You should see that you are going through this process, investing your energy daily. And in the tracker, you put a tick every day after completing the day of keeping the promise to yourself. It is essential. In the tracker that you have printed, you can see circles for putting ticks, and you can see lines where you write intentions. And the rule is that one commitment, one goal. Only one. You can't commit to quitting sugar and manifest 3 specific goals. No. One commitment, one goal. In the tracker, you see 3 lines, 3 intentions. And it's just for the future. Once you manifest the first desire, you will keep writing new desires, new intentions in this exact tracker and put new ticks. It works very well when you see the evidence that you've already manifested the first one. Then you have even more motivation to commit to new habits. But one commitment, one goal. Use the tracker. We will talk about how to write an intention in the next video. But the tracker is essential to track your progress daily. And you will feel so good, so confident when putting the tick every evening after completing a day of keeping the promise you made to yourself. And while committing and sticking to your specific habit, I suggest you to reward yourself once a week. It's an act of managing the brain as well. We need to reward it for staying disciplined. It's a way to sell the brain your goals. To show the brain that it feels very good to accomplish a week without sugar, for example, or without judgments. Reward yourself once a week, and by that I mean you might go and buy a new book for yourself which you wanted for a long time. It's up to you. Reward yourself for self-discipline once a week. Then, a tip on how to commit to not thinking about something negative, if this is the promise you want to choose. Here, every time you catch yourself on thinking about something negative, you write it down to your notebook. And next to it, you write the opposite one. Exactly as we did with limited beliefs. We rewrite, we cross the old one and write the positive one nearby. Same with negative thoughts. Do this every time without feeling sorry for yourself or making excuses. Even if you are sitting in the company of friends, you do it. And this way, this method will allow you to reprogram your attitude to reality and reprogram the mindset of yours. So these are the habits. Now I'll ask you to choose one which you're ready to commit to, and I'm sure you already have the answer. As you remember, the more frictional the habit is, the more frictional the commitment is, the bigger is the goal you can manifest. When, for example, you have an addiction to shopping and you can't imagine your life without it, when you quit it, it's hard, but in exchange you get a quantum leap in income and you can buy 2 properties as my friend did. Or when you just want to manifest a small, specific, exclusive item, you just commit to 5 days of doing squats or 5 days of speaking foreign language. The amount of energy which is being unleashed should be equal to the desire of yours. This is the rule. So please choose the habit, and I'll see you in the next lesson where we will write an intention. Thank you for your attention and see you soon.